by the Employment Facilitation Committee of the Institute, ably led by our distinguished council member, the senior council member, Mr. Jude Egbo. The committee has organized several webinars with a view to addressing the the challenges of unemployment and underemployment among members. So this is one of the webinar being put together to address such challenge. Before we go into the presentation proper, we want to, I don't know if Mr. Judebo, distinguished Mr. Judebo, MNFCA is on the call. My chairman, sir, Mr. Judebo, are you on the call? Fumi, can you confirm if the chairman of the committee is on call?
No, sir, he's not.
Okay, in the absence of, this is not here, can I invite his deputy, Dr. Kisa Alozie, to give us a keynote address before we go into the presentation proper? Dr. Alozie, FCA, sir, a council member. Can we have
Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good morning, distinguished colleagues. On behalf of the 64th president of our great institute, Malam Arona Mayaya, MNI PAG FCA, the vice president of our institute, and the 62nd president-elect, Ajia Quinchili Sofara Tusegosibe, MNI FCA. The first deputy vice president, Dr. Etofolam Osuji, MNI FCA. The second deputy vice president of our great institute, double chief, Oye Akinshulere, PhD FCA. The immediate past president of our great institute, Chief DCS Alaribe, FCA. The honorary treasurer of our great institute, Mr. Tajuddin Olayinka, FCA. The chairman of the Employment Facilitation Committee, Mr. Jude Sondebo, MNI FCA. The registrar chief executive, Dr. Larry Olasukomi, FCA. Distinguished colleagues, you are highly welcome to this special webinar being organized by the Institute under the auspices of the Employment Facilitation Committee. No doubt, as the director has spoken, Mr. Adams, there seems to be a lot of unemployment challenges that we are facing as graduates, young graduates, and young inductees. As part of the mandate of this presidential year, which is geared towards reduction in unemployment, the Institute under the Employment Facilitation Committee is bringing this special webinar, which is titled Data Analysis, Power BI, and the Advanced Excel. I don't want to say much because we have been able to select seasoned professionals, experts in this field, who will do great justice to this topic within the next few hours. All I need to do is to employ each and every one of us to be very, very attentive. Do not allow anything to distract you. Be very attentive. Ensure you get your writing materials handy so as to be able to take some important information that will change the narrative after today. I'm rest assured that after today's webinar, some of us will begin to see a new song, in the sense that new insight, new information will be released to us. And with this, we can be able to march forward as far as job creation is concerned. Gone are the days when we shall be looking for employment. Yes, there is need for us to look for employment, but these days we should begin to think in the area of employment generation. So I want to charge us, colleagues, pay attention and allow the experts to do this great justice to this important topic. Let me once again welcome all of us. At the end, if you have questions, please jot them down. At the end of the webinar, feel free to ask your question, because the whole idea is for us to go home fully fulfilled. Once again, on behalf of the president, the 64th president of our great institute, Malam Arona Mayaya, MNI PhD FCA, I welcome you all to this special webinar. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your day. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Aluti, for that wonderful remarks. I am being informed that the chairman of the Employment Facilitation Committee, distinguished Mr. Jusoni Ebo, MNI FCA, is online. Sir, may I invite you to give us your brief remarks, sir? My distinguished sir.
Okay, thank you, Chief Adams. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, esteemed professional colleagues. It gives me a great pleasure just to add just a few comments to what my brother has said, to be part of this great event. Even before it takes off, I know it's going to be great because we know the quality of the resource persons that we have. So just like Dr. Ayozie remarked, on behalf of the 61st President, our entire council and the Great Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, I join my voice to welcome you all to this webinar. And I encourage you all to please participate actively. The Secretariat has done their bit. I know there will be time for a vote of thanks. And the council has also done its bit to deliver this event. I'm also informed that the time the resource person will have for this first paper depends on the length of the speech. So this speech needs to be as short as possible, so the participants can have extra time, because I know they will not have enough. So we thank God for the strides the Institute is making, and I encourage you all to please play your own part in serving our great institute, especially by making yourself available for this kind of capacity building, which is free of charge. It's service from the council to the entire membership. So please be active, learn, and continue to learn to upgrade yourself, not just for paid employment, but also for entrepreneurship. May God bless the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. May God bless our great country, Nigeria, and may God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, my department chairman, Mr. Jusoni Ebo, MNI FCA, Chairman, Employment Facilitation Committee. Thank you so much. My name is Adams. I have in the call with me Alhaji Shakiru Balogun, Director of Membership Affairs. I also have my colleagues, Gibson, Fumi, Taiwo, are all on the call to assist me on this assignment. Before we go into the presentation, which is the fourth presentation, which is on data analysis and Power BI, to be taken by Mr. David Brown, let me quickly read out his profile. Mr. David Brown is the managing partner and founder of D. Brown Consulting. He has over 24 years of international consulting, instructional design, and training experience. Prior to establishing David Brown Consulting, he has worked with Arthur Anderson and KPMG Professional Services. He has also worked as an international consultant to the World Bank for 7 years. David founded D. Brown Consulting in 2006. The firm specializes in helping individuals and organizations achieve more with their data and helping teams stay agile. He has a deep expertise in complete design of e-learning training solutions and has developed leading frameworks for the implementation of data-driven talent intervention. He has developed and managed an e-learning platform and curated talent development content weekly through webinars, productivity boosters, and more. Mr. David Brown is an internationally recognized data analyst specialist, having been awarded the prestigious Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Award for the last 5 years. He is also a regular international speaker. Mr. Brown is an ATD Master Trainer and ATD Master Instructional Designer. He is a chartered accountant, a fellow of the Institute, and a member of multiple professional bodies. He is a 5-time award of the prestigious Microsoft MVP Award. He has worked with over 300 companies and has trained well over 30,000 individuals. He has designed framework for incorporating data into all aspects of training delivery process, called the ACE4A training framework, and has designed over 20 classroom and virtual training courses with a focus on engagement. Mr. Brown is the chairman of the Lagos chapter of the Learning and Development Network International, an association of professional training practitioners which leverage its relationship with Association for Talent Development. Please join me as I invite Mr. David Brown, FCA, to make his presentation. Mr. David Brown.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, we can hear you. Good to have you, sir.
Okay, great. Let me see if I have sharing right to share my screen. I will share on. Yeah, so. And I don't know if we have chat rights as in can people chat? Is that allowed? I hope. Yes, they can. All right,
yes,
good. So hello everybody. I guess you're all accountants, you're all chartered accountants, right? Some of you are students, actually. You're not chartered yet, right? Don't worry, you'll charter very soon. Yeah, you will charter very soon. You'll be chartered. Now, tell me where you're connecting from. If you think you're connecting from the furthest place out, maybe you're connecting from, I don't know, Atlanta, you're connecting from Dubai, maybe not. I don't know. There's issues there. If you're in Lagos, don't type Lagos. I'm not interested in Lagos, Abuja. No, forget. Don't type. I want to see those connecting from far and wide. Tell me. Yeah? Lagos people, don't worry. We know you're there. So, Akwa Ibom, Jos, Onitsha, Port Harcourt, Kwara State. Okay, you're not so far out. Okay, I can see Kaduna, Warri. Anybody outside Nigeria? Canada. Okay, I can see some people in Canada. Okay, good. So Canada, you're the furthest out. Well done. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about data analysis, Power BI, advanced Excel. So yes, funny thing is there are so many trainings online that you can see on Power Excel and all of those things, right? But I want to give you frameworks today. So I want to kind of have you understand the process for doing these things, right? Because when you go online, you see so much data about these things and you don't even know where to start, right? It's very simple. It's really simple. There's nothing complicated. So for the last almost like 30 years, I've had a framework that I've been using for data. From that 30 years to today, the framework has not changed. It hasn't changed at all. The technology has changed, but the framework hasn't changed. So type in the chat, what's the latest technology now? I'm sure, let me see if you know. What is the latest technology right now? Type in the chat. Let me see if you know. What's the latest tech? Thank you, Victor. Victor is the first to type it. Victor Adeosho, AI. It's not Power BI. It's not Excel. It's artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence. So let's see how we can use artificial intelligence to do some of the work we do. All right, that's what we're going to talk about today. I will bring up Excel. I know you love Excel, you like Power BI, but the most important thing really for us accountants, right, is we are supposed to be the data experts. We're supposed to be, I know the data we like is the money data. That's money, right? Anything to do with money, which is financials. So, and money data is super important, right? It's one of the most important data you can have. So how do we leverage what it is we know as accountants and data, how to manage data effectively to be more effective? How do we do that? Okay, so I'm going to talk about moving from raw data to board-ready insights, right? How do you use AI augmented accountants workflow? How do we augment accountants workflow with AI? Right, let me give you one key statement about artificial intelligence. Very important. Number one, right? You need to be domain experts. For you to use AI effectively, you need to be a domain expert, right? If you're not a domain expert, then you're asking for trouble because If you're not a domain expert, you tell AI to do something, AI will do it, but you will not know whether AI did the right thing. AI will probably be messing up with you and you think it's correct and you send it to your bosses, right? And we've seen some issues. I won't mention the companies, our accounting firms that have gone into hot water for asking AI to do stuff, not reviewing the stuff that AI gave you. Manager didn't review, senior manager didn't review, partner didn't review, and they send it out and they got sued, right? So we need one, domain expertise. And guess what? Everybody here has domain expertise in accounting. Inside accounting, you should have certain domain expertise in some specialized aspects of accounting, right? So when you have full domain expertise, then what you'll do with AI, the best way to use AI is to delegate to AI, not to abdicate to AI. Let me repeat, you shouldn't abdicate to AI, you must delegate to AI. So what we're going to do today is we're going to delegate to AI certain aspects that we would have done manually in these tools called Excel or Power BI. But I'll focus more on Excel because the tool is easier for you to get free access to for the artificial intelligence inside Excel. Are we good? Are we ready? Right, I think we are. Okay, so what we are doing today. What are we doing today? So today we're going to talk about data analytics and reporting, the discipline itself. What is the discipline? What data analytics is and why it matters for accountants, right? The 5-stage project pipeline end to end. What is that 5 stages of a project pipeline when you're working with data, regardless of the tool, whether it's Power BI, whether it's Tableau, whether it's Excel, but there's a 5-stage project pipeline. Then you have your tools. You have those traditional tools in the past, and then you have your new way of doing stuff, right? We're going to talk about the modern AI stack. So you have your traditional approach, your VLOOKUPs and all of those things. It's fine, but it's slow, right? One thing artificial intelligence will do for you is this. I said you shouldn't what? Abdicate to AI. You need to what? Delegate, right? Now, the only person that can delegate is somebody that knows the thing. How can you delegate what you don't know? Right? So you need to delegate something you know. So you need to know it already, domain expertise. But then you're delegating to somebody because that person, AI, can do it far faster than you. You think, oh, you can do reconciliation, or you're trying to do one deep reconciliation, it's taking you 3 days. AI will probably take 3 minutes. Now, is it that you shouldn't know how to do reconciliation? No, you need to know how to do reconciliation, but you can delegate it to AI. AI does it and you can supervise AI. You can tell it, oh, you're not doing the correct thing. In fact, I'm going to bring AI into this conversation. Let me, I didn't even plan to, but I think AI should talk for itself, right? So let me get AI into this conversation. Which AI? Type in the chat. Which AI do you use? Type in the chat. Which artificial intelligence do you use currently? Type in the chat, type in the chat, type in the chat. What AI do you use? Let me see. Good. Some people are using Claude, Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini. Are you using Gemini? You should use Gemini. Okay, let me use ChatGPT since everybody likes ChatGPT. So let's have a small chat with ChatGPT here. Let me see what I will ask it. Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, David. If you've got something on your mind, let's dive in. No monologue from me, I promise.
All right. So I'm actually working with a bunch of very smart accountants. So we're doing a presentation to accountants on AI, not really AI, but more data analytics using Power BI and Excel. And what I'm telling them is, look, artificial intelligence can help them a lot with this kind of stuff. And they're chartered accountants and trying to use data, understand how to build reporting and analytics. Just tell them something short about how you can help them.
All right, here's the deal. You're already smart with numbers. Now it's time to make them dance. Power BI and Excel, especially with some AI magic, let you automate boring stuff, spot trends you never noticed, and build dashboards that actually make sense. In short, you'll spend less time digging through spreadsheets and more time looking like a genius.
Exactly. And when they're looking like a genius, guess what? They get employed, right? They have far better chances of getting employed. What do you think? Because really, this is more like an employment thing, insights on how they can get employed or even get better employed, even enhance the skill set so that they can get better jobs. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Employers love someone who can turn raw data into business gold. If you walk into an interview showing you can build dynamic, insightful dashboards that actually help decision making, you're not just an accountant, you're a strategic weapon. And that, my friend, gets you hired faster than saying pivot table.
Thank you very much. So we'll be talking, I'll come back to you and we have more conversations. All right. So just stay and get ready with this context that I'm talking to accountants that are very smart, but also need to get even employed in better jobs, better, probably dollar paying jobs.
Got it, David. I'll keep my accountant hat handy and be ready to jump in with more clever tips when you need them. Dollar-paying jobs are always a nice motivator.
All right, cool. So can you give a small hand to our AI? So AI, this is the AI I've already trained, right? So it's ChatGPT, but it really is my own ChatGPT, right? So I've trained it, everything. It knows my all the things and stuff. So you see, it already knows me as David, right? So good. So that's going to be at the back end. Now let's see. So we're going to talk about data analytics and reporting, the discipline itself, and then we're going to talk about, I'll give you a live demo. So we're just going to talk about the Okafor foods crisis. And they had one food crisis and they needed your help as an accountant, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So what is data analytics, right? Well, and why should accountants care about data analytics? Well, thing about data analytics is there's certain descriptive analytics, right? What is descriptive analytics? What happened? You know, we accountants are experts at descriptive analytics. Do you know why? Because you know our book, IFRS, we use IFRS to basically go through the financials of a company and do descriptive analytics of the past data. What is an auditor doing? Auditor is doing descriptive analytics. Auditor is looking at historical data and then pulling out an audited report. That audited report is technically, as far as I'm concerned, descriptive analytics. What are we doing? We're looking back, summarizing historical data into reports, dashboards, and financial statements. This is where most accountants spend most of their time, right? Descriptive, very nice. Now, diagnostic. What's diagnostic? Why did it happen, right? So why did it happen? You're drilling, you're going deeper, root cause analysis, variance, decomposition, pattern identification, and stuff, moving from what to why. This is very important. This is where real insights begin to happen, right? Where we're moving from what to why. Why did it happen? Now, quite a lot of us know statistics. Type in the chat, what is your rating? What do you give yourself as your rating for statistics? 100%, 0%, 10%? How well do you know statistics? Type in the chat. Let me see. I'm reading the chat in another screen. How well do you think you know statistics? Mr. Obianuju, 70. Joseph, 56. Are you sure? 80. Wisdom, I'm not sure. Anybody that says anything above 70, I don't think you're right. 80%. Statistician. Okay, let me give you a statistical question. Let me just give you a statistical question because for you to understand this stuff, it's not about the tools. The tools are nice, Excel. It's to be able to think strategically, be able to think out of the box. Question for you guys. You have a set of records for staff within your organization. Unfortunately, you need to lay people off. Unfortunately. So they call the accountants. The accountants, please, we need you to do a detailed analysis of the data and identify those top 80% of our staff based on their performance. And then they give you data on every staff. They say, every week we do a performance review, right? We do a performance review every week. And this is 30 weeks of performance review data on every single one of our 1,000 staff. And they're asking you, provide a spreadsheet with a summary performance number that when we sort that spreadsheet, the top people we keep, the bottom people we let go. So that performance metric, right? That performance, so you know you have 30 weeks of performance. So you need to summarize that into something, a number. Type in the chat. What summary would you use? What statistical, what would you use to summarize those performances over 30 weeks, right? What would you use to summarize it to get a number? And that number is what you then use to determine who is best. All right? Type in the chat, what would you use? Forget Power BI. Who's saying Power BI? That is the tool. See, the tool is not the important part. It's the thinking. Thinking is the important part. You have to get that right. Yes, I'm going to show you some tools, but I want you to understand the important thing is thinking, critical thinking around data. And statistics is such an important thing. So I've given you a scenario. I said, what are you going to use to summarize? And I can tell you that everybody has got it wrong. There's no single person that has got it right. I'm looking at the chat. All of you are wrong. All wrong. Everybody is saying mean, median. Do you know one person has got it right? One person. Abisola. Go and read what Abisola said. Abisola Oshodi. I would need to know that name. You need to send me a message. I'm going to give you a prize. Just remind organizers, I have a prize for you. All right, Abisola, she got it right. Now, the statistic you need to use is standard deviation, not average. Because if you look at performance data, and that is the why, can you see that? We're coming to the why. The why is always difficult for people because people are using the wrong data. They're using the wrong statistics. They jump into Excel, they jump into Power BI. That is not how to do stuff. You need to think critically. If you use average, and let's assume performance expectation, the standard you expect for performance is 5. Let's say 5, whatever that is, 5. And so you don't want anybody to deviate too much from that 5. So what you then do is you take, let's say, Mr. Okafor, and you take his 30 data that he did, that 30 data points. Mr. Okafor got 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7. When you did the average, you got 5. When another person, Madam BC's own is 4.8, 4.8, 4.8, 4.8, 4.8, 4.8, 4.8. Then she did 5.2. Then she did 4.4, 4.4, 4.4. Her average was 4.9. The guy that did average of 5, he was doing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 8, 8, 8. It's all over the place. You're saying he's a better staff than the madam that was doing 4.8, 4. Who is a better staff? The one that was doing 4.8, 4.8, or the one that was 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4? Mr. Okafor or Madam BC, who is better? Type in the chat. Right? Who is better? Who would you rather keep as your staff, BC or Okafor? Why are you keeping Madam BC? You already know. Do you know why? Because the most important statistic of performance, listen very well, is consistency. Consistency is your measure of performance, not somebody that's today he's excellent, tomorrow he's terrible, the next tomorrow. When you're doing a project, you want to now bring Mr. Okafor, you'll be begging Mr. Okafor, please, please, please bring your A game. Bring your A game today. We know you can do it. We know you can do it. Why would you be doing that? So you can see the why did it happen is very important. You need to know statistics. And guess what I just did? That's the data, the statistical analysis that will give you that number, that summary number that analyzes consistency is standard deviation, not average. But 99% of people I ask, they'll say average, and that's wrong. So guess what? If you want to know data, you need to really know data. You need to know statistics, some basic statistics, distribution, right? And we did it in ICAN, didn't we? And then we forgot about it. We did it in ICAN exams. So the diagnostic is so important. Yes, you can see charts in Power BI. Yes, I'll show you some ways to clean data. But at the end of the day, you need to know how to diagnose data, all right? Then lastly, going beyond diagnosis is what should we do? That is predictive analytics. So predictive analytics is forward-looking. You're forecasting, you're doing models, you're doing scenarios, recommendations and stuff. The most valuable and most underdeveloped skill is in finance people is this diagnostic or predictive, right? So descriptive, we are there, we are good. Diagnostic, I've talked to you about understanding statistics and knowing data at a deeper level, right? AI can build a chart. AI can do the Power BI and Excel. AI can do that. You, the accountant, needs to bring reasoning, needs to bring logic, needs to bring you need to go beyond using the tools. All right? Okay. So 5 stages of the analytic and reporting pipeline. Take note of these 5 stages. Stage 1 is data prep. Stage 1 is data prep. What do? You collect data, you clean data, you validate data, you garbage in, garbage out kind of stuff, right? Stage 2, exploratory analysis. What are you doing? Interrogating the data, surfacing patterns. You're checking patterns in the data. See that standard deviation thing, patterns, before you make any conclusion. Then you have data analysis itself, right? Here you're answering, it's an answer. So data preparation, I call it trust. Exploratory analysis is discover. Data analysis is answer. When I say trust, do you trust your data? Is your data clean, right? And then your data analysis is doing root cause analysis. You're checking variance, you're doing correlations, you're finding out from what to why. Then data visualization. This is where you now present the data to your bosses so that they can make better decisions, right? They want to see a visual that makes sense. Let me give you one resource right now. Write it down. If you really want to learn data visualization, you need to go online and go and look for something by the Financial Times that they give out for free. It's called the Visual Vocabulary. Yeah, it's free. Go and download it today. Download the Visual Vocabulary and read it. So it tells you Which visual should I use when? Vocabulary, visual vocabulary, very important. You should learn that, right? By the Financial Times. It's absolutely free. Then after data visualization, then you have reporting and recommendations, right? This is when you're helping people decide. So this is the 5-stage analytic and reporting pipeline. Which aspect of this pipeline do you have problems with the most? Type in the chat. Which aspect of this pipeline do you have problems with the most? Type in the chat, type in the chat. Let me see. Which aspect do you have problems with the most? Type in the chat. Let me see what people are typing. Data visualization, data analysis. Okay, so data visualization, I've solved your problem. Go and read visual vocabulary. You will know data visualization. Exploratory analysis. Okay, okay. Data analysis. Nobody's saying data prep. Data prep, you are saying you don't have problems. You spend so much time on data prep. Time is money. So I think data prep. You haven't said data prep yet. Data prep is where the wahala is. Huh? Right. So let me show you your traditional stack. This is typically what everybody here mostly does, right? You do Excel formulas, pivot tables, manual charts, Word, and PowerPoint. This is what I call the traditional stack. This is how we used to do it. How you should move from traditional stack, you should move to modern AI stack. So you need to upgrade yourself. You need to use Excel and AI. Excel and Copilot. You need to use Excel, analyze data, right? Analyze ideas. Power BI, but with AI. You need to move to those stacks. That's where you need to move to, right? So there are two ways to walk this pipeline. Let me explain how this traditional stack and this AI stack, this is how it goes. So this is super modern. This is how accountants should start working. Only a few accountants are working the way I'm going to show you. Only a few. You need to move to that level. Once you move to that level, you're fully employable. When you go into an organization and they're giving you data and say, oh, can you clean this data? I said, no, practically, I can clean the data, yes. It's going to take me an hour, but wouldn't you like me to show you how it's going to take you 2 minutes? Everybody will turn to you and look, who is this guy? First, I think you've already got the job. And let me just show you how to take 2 minutes. Really, there's free tools out there, artificial intelligence and stuff, that will help you clean this thing in 2 minutes. And obviously, if you have so much of this data, you don't want me spending 1 week cleaning data. I can spend that 1 week giving you more insights and talking to your MD and stuff to see how does this data, what's this data trying to tell us? I said, that's how you can use my time better as an organization and get more from me. Imagine you saying that in an interview. If you say that in my interview, I've employed you straight away. But hopefully it's not bobo skills. You're just boboing me. Then when I employ you, you now start messing up. No. So obviously you can say it, but you should be able to do it. All right. So look at this. This is a traditional analyst. 3 days to deliver this analysis. He will first of all manually clean the data, formula by formula, right? Then exploratory analysis. You will do rebuilding pivot tables and so on, another 1.5 hours. I will analyze with some ifs and do you see some reference breaks and fix it. And then you will do overnight deck. Overnight is now going overnight to do PowerPoints. Everything about 10 hours or 2 days for the analyst to get this out. This is now the modern analyst. The modern analyst will do everything in 1 hour. So your 14 hours change to 1 hour. What will he do? Data prep. You write a prompt. You write a small prompt to AI. Tell Copilot, see, this data I know is dirty because I've just done a quick analysis and I've seen, in fact, let me show you the data. Let me show you some data. Let me go to case study straight. Let me take you there. Let me see. My Copilot. Okay, fine. Let me bring in some data. Can you see this data? I'm sure you can see the data. If you don't have too much time. You can see the data, type in the chat. Can you see the Excel? Someone should tell me what's the top right. What did they write in the top right of my Excel so I know you can see it? What is the first field? What's this first field? Type it. What's it? Type it in the chat. Let me know if you're listening to me. Good. You see, Temi Topper is very sharp. Listen to me very okay. Transaction ID. So you can see there's a transaction ID, there's a date, right? There's a zone, there's a state, there's a product line, and you have salespeople, and then you have your data, right? So this is your data and all of that. So this is the case study. This is one of the case study. Now, this Q4 2025 data is clean, but I know that this Q1 2026 data is dirty. I know it's dirty. So you as the accountant, you should know it's dirty, you know where it's dirty, but to fix it, it's going to take you time. We're going to use AI for this, right? We'll ask AI to see if the AI can do it. So we're trying to move from that 14 hours of work to 64 minutes, so 1 hour. Data prep, AI will help you with it. EDA, which is exploratory data analysis, you ask in plain English, like, okay, based on this data, I want you to find blah, 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 blah. You and AI go back and forth and it does that analysis, right? Then root cause analysis, you have to do metrics, visuals, or auditable visuals to understand what is the root cause of what's going on here. I need to understand that, right? Then AI drafts, you have your detailed draft of what it is you want to present to your management, right? Do your reports, charts. Which chart should you use? I've told you already, visual vocabulary, right? So that's where we're going to move to as a modern analyst. So let's take our case study. So look at the case study. There's this Mrs. Adazie Okonko, right? She frantically sent you a message, right? You are the accountant. You sent, our gross margins dropped by 11% percentage points in Q1 compared to Q4. The board meets in 3 weeks. I need to know where exactly are we bleeding? Where are we bleeding cash? What's happening? Which zones, which products, which months, and what do we recommend we do about it? Do we cut certain expenses? Do we restructure? Do we double down somewhere? What is it that we need to do? I need full analysis on my desk by Thursday. And this is you answering. Oh, understand, Ma? I'm on it right away. We'll have everything ready by Thursday. But why should you wait till Thursday? Right? So this is Chief Financial Officer. That's your Chief Financial Officer, or Carrefour Foods, right? It's Monday morning, Thursday deadline, board in 3 weeks. So you need to provide that thing within Thursday for her. We have the data. We have 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Can we do this in 45 minutes? Well, though I want to try and do it in what, 10 minutes, right? So this is our Carrefour Foods. This is the current company profile, 4.2 billion in revenue. We have 6 geopolitical zones. We have 12 sales representatives. We have 3 product lines, right? So that's your data, or at least that's your company. So write these facts down. 4.2 billion, 6 geopolitical zones, 12 sales reps, and then 3 product lines, all right? If your data or your analysis now goes and shows 5 product lines, you know you've messed up, isn't it? If your analysis shows 20 sales reps, you know you've messed up. So these are like checkers for you to know whether things are right? So what does CFO want? The CFO has various questions. So what are the questions that the CFO has? Our gross margin dropped by 11% percentage points Q1 compared to Q4. The board meets in 3 weeks, right? Where exactly are we bleeding? Which zones or products or months, which cuts do we need to have to restructure or double down, right? And then she needs that by Thursday, right? So how do we do that, right? So data preparation, let's look at the data. So let's go and look at the data. Where's our data? Let's see our data. My data, where are you? My data always likes disappearing. It doesn't want me to show you stuff. It's complaining about conflict of something. Why are you complaining about conflict? There's no conflict. Okay, let's bring the data. So you can see the data here. We saw transaction ID and all the rest. How clean is this data? I know that this data is clean, but I know that this other data is dirty. So how do I know that this data is dirty? First of all, when you just do a quick analysis of your data, you're scrolling down. Sometimes when there's an error in Excel, you can see Excel tries to help you. Look at this. Excel puts one mark here. I don't know how many of you have seen it. This one says text date with 2 digits here. So you're storing your data as text. Dates in Excel are numbers, really, right? They're numbers. In fact, you can see this date. This is 2026 0303. In fact, this is a very bad way to write dates because we don't know whether this is 3rd of March or well, like this 0104. Is it 1st of April or January 4th? So typically, when you're writing dates, let me give you a clue. You should always write dates this way. See, I've just changed my dates. Dates should always be, your month should be 2 digits. So that's what I just did here, right? And you can see when I did that, it didn't. Okay, so this thing. Okay, my system keeps on messing me up with my data. Well, okay, data is back. It's complaining that somebody else is using my data for some reason. Okay, let me get my data back. Hold on. Okay, Carrefour data. Okay, let me close it and bring it back. Seems to be very stubborn. Carrefour Foods. All right, bring it back. Right, we're here. Okay, so now, if you look at your data, scroll down. Scrolling is kind of difficult because if your data is like 10,000 rows, you won't be able to see all the issues. But look at one issue here. Can you see this blank? Why is data blank? Your products are blank. One other way you could do it in Excel when you're doing data cleanup is you write formulas. A new set of formulas called array formulas in Excel. So if I come here and write a function called unique, right? If I write a function called unique basically, let's say I want to find the unique of states. So all this column, this whole column for states, I want to see what are the unique line items in this column for states, right? Now, I already know how many states I should expect. So when I do a unique of states, this is what I get. I get states, and I get a state called 0. What does a state called 0 mean? It means there's a blank, which basically means your data is not accurate, it's not clean enough. What about if I do a unique? Let me do another unique, this time of our products. So if I do unique of our products, enter, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another blank. Now, if you remember the slide deck, I think they said, how many products did they say they have? Who remembers? Your manager, how many products did they say they have? They have, what was it? I can't remember. Okay, well, somebody said 3, see? Someone said 3, 5, 6. They're giving me different numbers. We're doing this thing together. No, so obviously some of those products are not correct, right? So they're not correct. Okay, so my system is really messing up for some reason. Wow, okay. So I would like a time check by our coordinator. How long do we have left for our presentation before I have to close?
8 minutes more, sir.
How many minutes?
8.
8 minutes more. Okay, good. Let me try and get that done.
To end the presentation.
Okay, and then we have Q&A, I understand. Okay, so look at this data. I know this data is dirty. So in fact, let me just go straight to AI and tell AI to find how dirty it is. So I'm going to use Claude because the other AI is just misbehaving. Can you see the AI is just misbehaving? So I'm going to ask this thing. See, the AI is just misbehaving. So discard changes. Okay, so the AI, I'm going to save this on my desktop, which is not really advisable. You should have it online. I'm going to save it somewhere that this AI can stop this AI misbehaving. So right now it's just doing some silly stuff. Okay, so let me change my location. Sorry, guys. Okay, project, saved it. Right. Now, let me use a different AI. So by the way, if you want to use AI, you go to Excel, go to add-ins. Once you go to add-ins, you go and search for AI. What I advise you do is use Claude. Claude is absolutely amazing. And unfortunately, you will need a paid account, but I can assure you that $20 a month you pay, we make you $1,000 if you really know how to use it. So I go to Claude and I ask Claude, I say, I suspect that this data has issues. Find them. So look at what I said. I said, I suspect this data has issues, find them. So this is just data cleaning. I've given Claude assignment. Go and find the data issues it has, okay? So while he's reading it, let's go back to our slides. So while he's reading it, I've said the data prep, clean the data. So Q1 2026 sheet zone, duplicates, I know there are duplicates in there, I know there are blanks, I know there's mixed data, right? If I have 10,000 rows of data, it's going to take me time, but AI will do it in seconds. But I should know how to clean data too, right? EDA is you need to identify, this exploratory data analysis, identify which zones and products show margin pressure, right? Then data analysis, zone times product margin matrix, root cause analysis and stuff like that. That's what you need to do under data analysis, visualization, and then recommendation, right? So I'm going to go in through that and I'm just going to jump straight to the AI stuff. So this is my data, the data I just showed you. Q1 data, Q4 data, it's 2025, I know it's clean. Q1 data 2026, I know is messy. Let me tell you the stuff that's wrong with that data. There are 25 rows of inconsistency in that data. 12 exact duplicate rows. We have 15 blank product line rows. We have 12 dates that are not dates, they're text. So let's see if this AI identifies all of that. Let's go back to the AI and see. AI is still doing. AI said, I'll start by reading all the data to understand the structure and identify issues. Let me pull in all 3 sheets. I didn't say you should do 3. See, over syllabus. I said this sheet. Didn't I say this? I said, see, it's me that made a mistake. See, I suspect that this data, I should have said this sheet. So can you see one thing about AI? You need to give it clear instructions. When I said this data, the guy is looking at all the data, all the sheets. I said I should have said this sheet. Should I stop it? AI. Yeah, wasting my time. We don't have time. We don't have time. See, clear instructions. In fact, now that you said that, let me give you extra. I like giving extra. I'm going to give you a framework for talking to AI. While AI is working, let me give you this framework very, very quickly. I like working in frameworks. So I'm going to give you our prompt engineering framework. I created a prompt engineering framework. This is how you should speak to AI to give it better instructions. You need to be crisp with AI. Crisp, that's my framework. You won't see it anywhere. It's a framework I've developed. So when talking to AI and giving AI instructions to do whatever it is, data analysis and stuff, you need to be crisp. Your C is context. You need to give AI very clear context. We're working on a report on we're trying to create a detailed dashboard, detailed report for our management meeting next week or blah, blah, blah. This is what our company does, blah, 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 blah. Give it context, okay? Next thing you need to do is give AI a role. Tell AI you are the best accountant in the world. In fact, you did ICAN exams and you came first in all the diets. All the diets you were first. You are the best best student, right? Give it a role and say, yeah, this chartered accountant, and now a top data analyst, and you're going to be working on data analysis for specific data of FMCG. You have given it a role, right? Give it instructions, very clear. Just like you saw, I didn't give very clear instructions, right? I said, analyze the data. I didn't say analyze the sheet. So give very clear instructions such that you're able to remove, say, do this, don't do this as well, okay? One instruction I always give AI is ask AI, say, please ask me clarifying questions. Don't assume anything. That's part of my instructions. Next is specifications. This one is a bit more than instructions. You're giving it exactly how it should act. How should it structure the responses it's going to give you? Give it SLAs, give it SOPs. Download your work plan or how you work or your workflow, give it to AI and say, this is how we work. This is how I want you to work. Lastly, you need to practice. If you don't practice, you can't really work well with AI. So those are your crisp methodology. Let's go back to AI and see what it's doing. I'm going to stop the AI here and say, hey, I don't have time. Huh? I don't have time. Just look at this sheet, right? Let me give him very specific, Q1 2026. And tell me the data integrity issues it has, okay? So Opus 4.6 is the highest level of AI, the most intelligent AI in the world right now. I shouldn't be using it. It consumes a lot of power. But anyway, let's see. I told you, hey, I don't have time. So let me quickly do it. Good. It's doing quick work now, right? You see, it's very good stuff, right? Good stuff. See, now let me analyze this data systematically in Python and identify all integrity issues. So what is it doing? It's looking at this data, carrying it to Python, writing code, then to come back and tell you what the issues are. Even if this data is 100,000 rows, same thing, right? Why should you as an accountant stress and be doing this manually? I can tell it to correct it as well. It will correct it, right? So while that is doing that, let me talk about a little bit about Power BI. So Power BI, again, was born in Excel. I don't know how many of you have used this tool called Power Pivot. Look at it up here. Power Pivot, type in the chat. Have you used Power Pivot before? Power Pivot? Yes, that is Power BI. Power Pivot is what Power BI was born in 2015. 2015, right? 2015 is when they invented Power BI. By the way, that 2015, when they invented it around July, I was invited to Israel in February. So I was kind of the first in Nigeria to use Power BI, number one in Nigeria. Why? Because in February 2015, they invited me to Israel for the pre-launch of Power BI. So I was there in Israel. Power BI team was one small room. But prior to that, 2015, 2010, they invented this thing, Power Pivot. The day it came out, I started using it for clients to analyze data. Please go and learn Power Pivot. So Power Pivot is a language, is like building a SQL data, is like you're building a data model, you're building a full data model, and it has a language. The language is DAX, data analysis expressions. So take this. You need to learn Power Pivot. You need to learn the language called DAX. Then you also need to learn how to clean your data. That is under data. See this data? See this entire section here called Get and Transform? This is Power Query. Power Query is one of the best tools you can ever have. It will automate the cleaning process. So if you are spending like 3 hours to clean something, Power Query will do it in 2 seconds. right? And next month, when you need to clean it, Power Query will clean it. So Power Query is another thing you need to learn. Here it's called Get and Transform, but it's Power Query. Same thing in Power BI. And it also has a language. The language is M, like M for money, right? So Power Pivot, DAX, Power Query, M. Make sure you learn those three. This, my thing, is still analyzing. It knows too much. I should have used the smaller engine. It's analyzing, and now let me analyze this data systematically with Python. Oh, guy, we don't have time. I know you like to do thorough analysis. But anyway, if you do it in a few minutes, let's give him time. Right. So that is the tools you need to learn, because all those tools are what they package to create Power Pivot. Power Pivot. Those are the tools that they package to create this tool called Power Pivot, right? And this is Power Pivots. Power BI, not Power Pivot, Power BI. So Power BI, this is Power Pivot in Excel. Your analysis or your data cleaning, you're getting data, all of this is Power Query, right? It's the same. See this? It's exactly the same in Excel. See this? Can you see? It's the same thing. So when you learn one technology, you'll be able to learn the other technology. But the key thing is you need to be able to do this very, very fast. So you'll be able to import your data. I think I put it in my downloads. Let me take a car for foods. So you bring in your data and then you'll be able to start analyzing it so simply, doing a very detailed analysis. But you need to be sure your data is clean. So, right, I would have done a cleaning of the data with Power Query, but let's just load the data like this. Let's just load our data and bring it into Power Pivot. So once you bring it into Power Pivot, you're able to then do some very quick, easy analysis. And then you can use Copilot and tell it, hey, build a dashboard. So if I clicked on this Copilot and say, build a dashboard, it will build a dashboard for me. But you can also do that yourself. You bring in your visuals, and then you come in and then you basically decide, okay, what's going to be in that visual? I can say, I want to see revenue. I want to see, if I select dates, and then I don't want that date. I want actual, it doesn't know it as a date because I haven't told it is a date. So I can say, give me my salesperson. So these are my salespeople and these are their revenue, right? You want to see it for a specific period, you can pull it out for that specific period, and that's it. So very easy. You bring in a dashboard, you can bring in another line chart or something like that. But okay, my dates are not dates yet. I need to come back to my back end, right? If I come and go and check and say, okay, do you know what? I need to tell it that this column that has dates, this is actually a date field, right? But unfortunately, you can see that there's some bad data in it, some bad data, which I need to clean up. So I would need to have cleaned that data, but we don't have the time to do that. Then need to know it as a date. Then need to be able to do analysis by date. Let's go back to this Excel and see what it's doing. The guy is super slow today. What? Now let me analyze. Why are you thinking? So when you're using Excel, right, you need to decide on a model. This is a thinking model. I should have used this guy. This guy is far faster. If I used him, it would be much, much faster, and he'll be able to. So I'm stopping this. I know I shouldn't have stopped it, but please do the analysis. The analysis in 30 seconds. All right. Yeah, it's too slow for me. So I've changed the model to a faster model. This one is faster, but it's not as smart, right? So when you're using AI, you need to understand which model should I use for the AI and that model, how should I use it effectively, right? I could also have loaded the model into AI in online and get it to do the analysis, right? Or I could even, while it's doing that, let me show you how you would manually probably do this. How you manually do this, I could come into Excel and say equals to pivot by, for example, to answer one of my manager's questions. I'm going to use this pivot by, this group by. Let me use simple group by. So if I want to group something, let me decide I'm going to make a smaller version of this table. I'm going to say, I just want to see zone, sales rep, and revenue. Okay. So if I check, zone is column 3. Sales rep is column, what was this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So column 3, 8, take note of that. 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 3, 8, 11. So I'm going to create a smaller table. I'm going to say equals to choose calls. I say choose calls, and then I tell choose calls, which is a new function. It's called an array function. This is modern Excel, by the way. So choose calls. I say, hey, choose calls. What were the numbers we just mentioned? Type in the chat. What are the 3 numbers we're analyzing? Column what, and what? 3, 8, thank you, 3, 8, and 11. So look at what I did. I just used a function, a new function called choose calls, 3, 8, 11. What does it do? It has pulled out a smaller table. Look at that. This is an array. I typed one formula in a cell. It automatically pulled out an array. And this data is not clean. You can see that this data is not clean. So in fact, let me just copy this data. I'm going to use a cleaner data, which is this one here. My AI is still working. He said, look at it, he said he's on it while I'm doing my analysis myself. I can't wait for the AI, right? So I say equals to choose calls, right? Let me see if it's the same size. Yeah, 181. Is it 181 I used? I use 180. No, I use 181. 181. 181. Okay, 181. Right. So this is it. Now, based on this, I've now done a reduced table. I'm now going to go back into this formula and I'm going to tell it, well, let me make this bigger for you so you can see. I'm going to tell it I want to do an analysis inside this formula where I'm going to do group by. I'm going to do a group by analysis, group by. So group by analysis, many of you haven't seen these new versions of Excel. Right? This is amazing. So I want you to group this whole thing by the values, the value field is, the row field is basically, let me just put this FX so you can see. All right. So if I do a group by, so I do a group by, then I'm going to say, okay, so choose calls, or let me say the value field is the second, the range or array containing the values of the aggregate. But let me just do a simple group by for you, normal group by. So if I do a group by of this entire data, if I do a group by of my row field, I just want to group things by staff. Where's staff? Sales rep. So I'm just highlighting sales rep. And I'm saying, hey, group this sales rep by their values. Which value do you want to know? Is revenue. So group this by revenue, right? So if I just say group by revenue, and then put a comma and say, I want you to sum all their data. And I close my bracket. See what it is. It's going to do a summary for me, right? So it's going to do a summary for me. And what I need to do is I need to tell it that there is headings in my data. So if I do a comma, I say, is there headings in my data? Yes, there's headings, and I want you to show the headings. Now to show the headings, look at that. So these are called array formulas in Excel. Now, please, you guys, stop using old Excel. Go and Google array formulas in Excel and start using array formulas, where you write a single formula and the entire report will come out, right? So this guy, unfortunately, is still thinking. So what I'll do is I'll go into Q&A. I'm going to open another version of this. I'm going to move this to another Excel, and I'm going to use another AI there and tell it to do analysis or do detailed descriptive analysis, all right? So I'm going to tell another AI, while we do Q&A, we will still come back and have a look and see what it has done, right? Because it's just wasting time. I'm going to ask a different AI and say, hey, do a detailed descriptive analysis. Do a detailed, not descriptive, let's do predictive. Do a detailed prescriptive, just say do a detailed analysis of this data and create a report, okay? So we're going to ask this AI to do that. So while this AI is doing that and the other AI is working, let me just jump into Q&A. I know there's not much time. So whilst we're asking the questions and answering, we'll come back and see what this AI is doing, all right? All right, back to you guys. All right, so back to our coordinators. We need Q&A
Okay,
time. Thank you,
Thank you, Mr. David Brown. Thank you, excellent presentation. Can we give him a shout out via the chat box? Let's give him a shout out. Good. So without wasting time, let's go to the Q&A.
Yes.
Let's see.
We'll just keep the screen on. Let's keep the screen on so that AI will continue doing his thing while we're doing the Q&A.
Gibson, are you there?
I think you can still see my screen, I hope.
Yeah, he's still on display, yeah.
Good. While we're doing that, please, if you don't mind, let me give everybody a free gift. You know, I like giving free gifts. I have one free gift for everybody. It's a free course I want to give them. Let me see. I think I had it at the end. Let me check.
I have two hands up. Mohammed Ismail, please unmute. Mohammed Ismail, unmute and ask your question, please. Swiftly, please. Mohammed Ismail, unmute and ask your question, please. Unmute. You are still muted. Yeah, you can ask your question now. Mohammed Ismail.
Yes, actually, I don't have any question. I mistakenly touched it.
Okay, it was an old hand. Okay, I have Olorunnibe Daniel. Go ahead, please, and ask your question. Mr. Daniel. Daniel, please unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, facilitator. My question is, with the enforcement of data protection and within in the global service, what is the reliability of this application, that is the AI tools we are using?
Good.
I don't want to shed more light on that.
Good. So stay on. I like this question. You know, we accountants, we're very conservative people. Very good. I like that. I like it.
I will take all the questions once, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Let me do that.
Okay. Choma Oduku, please unmute and ask your question. Choma, unmute. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, distinguished professionals and our facilitator for today, Mr. David Brown. Thank you so much. I'm Dr. Choma Ojukwu, the chairman of ICAN-ngr and District Society. Oh, nice. I thank you for this exposition for us today, because even presently I'm writing a book on the accounting laboratory. So I've heard lots of new terminologies today, power pivots, all of them, and how to use them. So please, can I get that your framework on asking AI specific questions? If you can have it back to us. And then the gift you are talking about, I saw you opening it about Excel usage.
Take a picture of the gift. The gift is on. Take a picture.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Yeah. This is the picture. I've taken it. I missed taking a screenshot of that, your framework. Please, if you can give it back to us with the explanations, I will appreciate it. For my students, I'm a lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt. Thank you.
I'll put it up as well.
Okay, I've seen it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Choma.
Yes.
Mr. Adewale Oderide, please. Go ahead and ask your question. Adewale Oderide, unmute and ask your question, please. Unmute. You are muted.
Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you, my professional colleague and our facilitator. Really appreciate this call, sir. Please, I want to ask a question concerning Mr. David Brown's consultancy firm. If there is a training that is organizing that we paid for, that is online, that we can attend, and when that kind of training is coming up, so that we can become a real professional and grounded in using AI and thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. David will provide that. Afolalu Olajumoke, please unmute and ask your question. Olajumoke, please go ahead and ask your question, please. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the brilliant presentation. Sir, I don't know if you can have the summary of the whole presentation for some of us that didn't start early, because it is really educative and we really want to improve on our Excel skills using AI. Thank you.
What's up?
That will be made available. So I don't think we have any other person here. Adewale or there, no, it's not really not okay. So I think we are done, sir.
Okay, super. So let's all kind of look at my spreadsheet. Can you see that the AI is now doing the report? And can you see how it's doing the report by steps? Just like a good accountant, you write your to-do list. Can you see his to-do list to the right? And can you see it knocking off his to-do list? Can you see that, everybody? You can see the first thing he said is going to create a log. Claude Log. That is basically a tracker for what it's doing. Now it has created a report called report. Look at this. It created a sheet called Q4 report and it's building that report. It's building the report. Let me just zoom in. It's doing this live. It's going into Excel and building it. See, it's writing KPI summary. It has ticked that out of his list. The next thing it's doing currently is writing zone and product table. It's building a zone and product table. If you go into the cells, you see that what it's actually doing is built out those things, summarizing it, but there are certain aspects of what it will do, that's to write formulas. You can even let it write detailed formulas in Excel of what it's doing. So can you see more data coming out of the report? Can you see it's doing another section? Let me expand it. It's now said product performance summary. Look at that, right? So it's building the report for you as an accountant, right? So the same thing you as an accountant would do is doing it. Now let me build a report header and KPIs. Now writing the individual product tables, salesperson performance is writing that product salesperson's performance. You see it at the bottom. I can tell it, hey, do you know what? I need charts, I need this, I need that. So AI can do things a lot faster than us. It doesn't mean you shouldn't learn. You need to learn these things so that you can what? Delegate to AI, not abdicate, because lots of people, they'll just copy and paste what AI did. Please don't do that. You're indirectly telling your boss that you're not employable, right? If you just go to AI, copy and paste, then why your boss should just employ AI? Why should they employ you? So you need to be able to understand what you're doing, know it very well, then get AI to augment you, get AI to make you faster, right? So that's what this is doing, right? It's pulling out data, and I can tell it later to do a reconciliation and stuff. So quite a lot of the work you do, you need to describe it to AI very clearly. AI will do it, right? Depending on the AI platform you're using, right? So it's just filling things out and all sorts, right? Not bad. And later it's going to rearrange it well, right? Let me see that other AI that was just wasting our time. What did he do? Did he eventually do anything? Okay, it actually did stuff too. All right, well, interesting. But okay, but anyway, so back to you in the studio.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have some few. Let me just have about some questions here.
Go ahead.
On the chat box. Somebody saying, can this analysis be achieved using the Excel filter?
Yes, of course. So the analysis, you can come here, do filter, but the filter doesn't really help much. Filter just filters the data. What is better for you to use is pivot table, right? So you come to insert and say insert pivot table. But let me answer the questions. There are some questions that were asked already that I haven't answered, right? So I'll answer those questions. So, but you can use pivot table. Once you do this and do pivot, insert pivot table, where is that? What did I do? Insert pivot, escape. Let me insert it, pivot, escape. Insert pivot table. So I think the AI is working, I'm working, we're all fighting with the data. Let me just leave the AI to do its thing. But you use pivot table, I think is much better. Those are tools you can learn. Okay. So let me answer some questions. So the safety concerns. The safety concerns are valid.
In 2 minutes, sir.
Okay, in 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes.
So the safety concerns and governance. What you need to understand is this. When you're using ChatGPT, let's assume that your organization is your house. You know, inside your house is secure, isn't it? You have a fence around your house or a fence around your office. Anything that happens in your office with data is locked. Now, if you're using ChatGPT, it's as if you're leaving your house and going outside to go and get something called ChatGPT to do some work with your data. You're carrying your data outside, giving it to ChatGPT, coming back. That may not be too secure. But guess what? Inside that your house, who is managing your house is Microsoft, which is why Microsoft has Copilot. Copilot is ChatGPT inside the house, inside your locked office house. So if you're concerned about safety and governance, you can use Copilot, which is already inside your own infrastructure, which means it's safe. Now, ChatGPT and the others are also safe in the sense that you need to activate certain things you need to activate. You need to tell it not to remember, not to use memory, not to use your data to update the software. You need to put some settings in place and then integrate it with your current data. So you need to be proactive in understanding how this thing works. But if you're very scared, just use your house. And if you're a Google shop, use Gemini inside your house where your data is. So that's how you keep secure. Trainings on Deep Brown Consulting, just go to Deep Brown Consulting's website. You see lots of training. We have a weekend AI course that we do. You can go to social media, ask them questions there. They should be able to help you. Me, I'm a specialist in financial modeling and data analytics. So I do project finance modeling, financial models and stuff. I've been building models for 30 years. And basically, I do Excel and all of those things as well. All right. So looking forward to seeing you guys again. Best of luck in your looking for better jobs. And that's what I'm really, really looking forward to, because, in fact, I have an academy, Financial Modeling Academy, where we've crashed the price for becoming a financial modeler. And the Financial Modeling Institute in Canada have crashed their price too. So if you check Financial Modeling Academy, we'll be able to make you a world-class financial modeling analyst, and you start earning thousands of dollars after, because many people need models in the world, but it's very, very, very cheap and affordable. So looking forward to seeing you guys again in another talk. Best of luck to everybody. See you again. Thank you for inviting me, ICAN, and thank you. And again, I'm the chairman of the data. Let me advertise data and IT faculty. Join the data and IT faculty, please, of ICAN.
Okay.
I'm the chairman there.
That's good. Yeah, thank you, Mr. David Brown. Thank you.
We
Thank
have
you
a conference
so much.
coming up in April.
Yeah.
Account Tech conference. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that beautiful, insightful presentation.
All right.
Let me assure that we are going to make the presentation available to all participants by your email addresses. So without wasting time, let us go to the second presentation, which is Advanced Excel. The paper presenter is already on ground. His name is Mr. Osai. Let me quickly go through his profile. Osai Chukwutem. Mr. Osai Chukwutem is a business intelligence developer and a Microsoft certified trainer with over 8 years of experience empowering professionals and organizations through data analytics and Microsoft technologies. His expertise spans Power BI, Excel, Power Apps, Power Automate, SharePoint Online, Office 365 application, with a proven track record of training over 7,000 participants across industry. Wonderful. Osai holds a higher national diploma in banking and finance. He combines analytical skills with technical proficiency to deliver practical result-driven solutions. His certifications include MCT, MCSA, Microsoft Office Specialist Excel, and Microsoft Certified Educator. He has collaborated with leading organizations such as ICAN-ngr Computer Solutions Enterprises, Crack IT Limited, and Human Capital Partners in driving digital transformation and building capacity through tailored training and consulting. Osai is passionate about knowledge transfer and business intelligence. He thrives in helping individuals and teams unlock full potential of Microsoft tools to make smarter, data-driven decisions. Join me in welcoming on call Mr. Osai Chukwutem. Mr. Chukwutem, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Adams, for the introduction. Please confirm that you can hear me clearly.
Clearly, we can hear you.
Oh,
we can
great.
hear you, sir.
So thank you for the opportunity. And I also want to appreciate my boss, Mr. David Brown. So he has said a lot about AI, and I'll be building on the existing knowledge that he has delivered here today. So I am also planning to talk about AI. Let me see if I can share my screen. So what I'll be talking about. Share my screen. So please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see. We can see.
Great. So so from data entry to decision making using AI with Excel for modern financial accounting. So I won't be doing much talking because I will just go straight into demonstration. David Brown has already told us a lot about AI. AI is not there to take your job from you. AI is just there to assist you. And my concentration will be majorly on Copilot, because I know that so many organizations uses the Microsoft platform. And because you are using the Microsoft platform, just like the closing remark of David Brown, it make us understand the advantage of using the in-house AI tool, and that is Copilot that I will be concentrating on. So in Microsoft Excel, there are a lot of tools that you can leverage on. And I will always say, let me launch my Microsoft Excel. So there are a lot of tools that you can leverage on. And I can tell you that if you want to really analyze data, you want to move from data entry to insights in minutes, please ensure that you understand how you make sure that the data tab is your friend. I repeat, the data tab should be your friend. So these are the top here are the tabs where we have the home, insert, draw, page layout, formulas, data. They are all what we call tabs. Okay, so one of them is called the data tab. All right, so the data tab should be your friend. If you know how to use every single tool within the data tab, it means that you are now ready to tell AI what to do. And when you tell AI what to do, whatever thing it gives to you, you'll be able to understand what AI has done if it is the correct thing. And I can tell you that there are times that the prompt you give to your AI tool can be a bit can give you a different result from what you are expecting. But if you don't understand how each of these tools work, remember it talked about Power Query. Power Query is here in the data tab. It talks about Power Pivot. Power Pivot is here on the data tab. It talks about analyze data. They are all right here on the data tab. Knowing how to use them gives you a lot of edge. And also within the data tab, we have the data tools group. The data tools group has a lot of tools that you can as well use. Look at here, we have the test column, we have the flash fill, we have the remove duplicates. There we have the data validation, we have data consolidation, we have the power, we have the data model, which is also the power pivot, and then we have the analyze. So I'll just talk about a few of these two within this short minute. We'll demonstrate how it can help, and then see how we can now use AI to do the same thing that we'll be doing using each of these two. So it means that we'll go the traditional way, and then we'll now go the modern way, which is using AI. And I can tell you, you can check if the version of Excel you are using, okay, confirm that the version of Excel that you are using is the 365 version. If you are working with the 365 version, then it means that you are ready to use Copilot within your Microsoft Excel. So let's go. So I'll be talking on just few of these two. So let me just show you the two so that you will get to understand what I'm trying to say. So the first one I'll be talking about is the flash fill. The first one is the flash fill. Second one, analyze data. Third, we'll talk about pivot tables. And then lastly, we will now see how we can use Copilot to do all of these things that has been mentioned earlier on, even by the first facilitator. So let's go. Now, I have this data set. I've shared this data set with your coordinator. So this data set will be shared across, so that the same thing that I'll be doing here, you'll be able to go through the video and also do the same thing. All right. Now, you must understand the data that you are working with. Now, this data is very simple and straightforward data of about 3 columns. We have the dates. Let me zoom it in so that you can see. So we have the date column, we have the description column, and then we have the amount column. Now, looking at these 3 columns, now look at it. Look at the description. I want to do what we call data cleaning. So let me just show you the step of what we are to do right here. So on my slide 7, okay, so we will start with data cleaning. All right. So we will use flash fill to extract data from a particular column, and then we will do what we call data categorization. Then we will now do what we call data insights by creating pivot tables and charts, and then maybe add 1 or 2 sliders to make it interactive, and then see how we can use Copilot to do all of this, maybe in 1 or 2 prompts. Are we ready? So let us go. So the first thing here we want to do is to, from the description column, we want to extract those, if you look at it, we have the cell B2, okay, where we have under the description, we have fuel purchase, okay, and then we have total at the front, which is the name of the organization, all right, that we purchase from. So that will be saying that, okay, let us extract. So at the immediately after the dash, okay, we have what we call the name of the vendor. So we want to extract the vendors, okay, from this data. All right. So how do we extract the vendors? So all I just need to do is to say, I want to use flash fill. So for flash fill, what flash fill does is to understand the pattern. So maybe you will supply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. If it's not giving you automatically, then you can now click on the button for flash fill. So how do you do that? So I want to extract the vendors. So the vendors will be those names after the total, those names after the dash. So for the first one, we have total. Okay, that's the first one. So the second one does not have any dash. So I'm going to skip it. I will go to the next line, okay, which we have Lekki. So let me put there Lekki. Then I will go to the next one, which is ShopRite. So I will say ShopRite. Okay. Now, what does flash fill does? Flash fill will now look at this pattern, okay, and then supply the remaining, and then extract using this same pattern. So how do you do that? You select the entire column so that it will understand this pattern that you have selected. Okay. So once that is done, all you just need to do, come to your data tab, go to your data tab. Remember, I told you that data tab should be your friend. Okay. If you want to really understand manipulation and analyzing data in Excel, because you must understand all these things before you cannot begin to use AI to get these things done. So when you select, because you have given Excel a pattern, all you just need to do, just come to your flash fill button. Look at the flash fill button, or you just use your Control E. Once you use your Control E, that will extract that pattern for you automatically. Can you see that? That every single one after the dash is extracting it for us. Can you see that? So everything has been completely extracted from the beginning to the end. Though you can use formula to do that, but what I'm concerned about is you knowing how to use flash fill. So what does flash fill do? It understands, it looks at the pattern that you are trying to bring out, and then use that pattern to create the entire column for you. Now, let us do the same thing, but I want to convert this to become to use uppercase instead of lowercase that has been used here on under vendor. So let me just come here and say vendor 2. Okay. Now I want to use the uppercase. How do I use it? I will say total. So I will be writing total in uppercase. Can you see that? I will write withdrawer in uppercase. You see that immediately I start the second one. Can you see the pattern it has given me? So it recognizes the pattern, and flash fill will give it to you automatically. By just pressing your enter, your flash fill is already done. Can you see that? So that is how your flash fill works. It looks at a pattern that you are trying to type, and then use the pattern to create to give you a suggestion of what the other column is going to what the other cells is going to produce. Okay, so we are done with using flash fill. So that is how the flash fill works. And I've shown you where you can locate your flash fill. Just come to your data tab. Under the data tab, you go to your data tools group. Under the data tools group, there you see your flash fill. All right. So the other tool that we want to also look at is analyze data. Now, analyze data is so beautiful because you can use it to derive insight. You can ask question and answer. Okay, you can use question and answer for your data right here on your within your data. But the first thing I will always advise you to do, if you want to use these tools effectively, always, before you start, always convert your data to table. Does that make sense? So before I do anything here, let me duplicate this table. Let me duplicate this sheet. So I've duplicated the sheet. So I don't want to add to this data, because I also want to use this set of data to use AI, which is Copilot, to do the same thing that I've been doing since. So let me come to the duplicated sheet. Now, under this duplicated sheet, what do we want to do? We want to quickly analyze this data, okay, at as fast as possible, even without using AI. These are some of the features within Excel that has been embedded long ago, even before AI was very rampant. Though AI has been in existence for a very long time, but these features has been there, but people have not been utilizing it. Now, what do? I will first of all convert it to table. How do I convert it to table? I will do Control A. Okay, so Control A will highlight the entire data set. Okay, Control A. Then to convert to table, I will just say Control T. Control A and then Control T. This is not giving me, so let me see. Oh, great. Let me move this tab away. Good. This is already in a table format. This is amazing. So how do you know that your data set is in a table format? So let me just show you. How do you know? Now, if you click anywhere within your data set, there will be a consolidated tab at the top called table design. Can you see the table design? It means that this has been converted into a table. That's what it means. But if I want to convert from table to range, okay, all I just need to do, I will come to my table design and then go to the tools group. Under the tools group, I will just click on convert to range. So if I say convert to range, so with this, I'm having range, which is not a table. So to convert to table, all I just need to do is to say Control A, Control T, and then it will ask me, does my table has headers? Yes, my table has headers. Then I will click on the table on OK. So once I click on OK, this table this range has been converted into a table. Okay, this range has been converted into a what? Into a table. Now, let us now use the analyze function, the analyze button. Okay, so I will go to my data tab. Under the data tab, I will go to the data tools group. Look at the button here. It is called analyze data. Once I click on analyze data, on my left hand side, on the right hand side of the table, can you see it has quickly done an analysis for me? Can you see this is telling me the sum amount in terms of by days, okay, by description and by date. If you scroll down, all these are pivot tables, and you can automatically insert these pivot tables. If I come here and say insert pivot table, this pivot table will be inserted for me automatically. Can you see? Even without doing anything, it has given me this. It has plot this pivot table for me automatically. If I go down, there are charts. It's not limited to pivot table alone. There are charts. If I come here, I can use any of these charts and then modify the chart. Can you see this? It's showing me the noticeable amount in terms of days. Okay, the one that is higher. A lot of insight can be gotten just from a single click. If you come down here, can you see it's telling me show all 6 results, meaning that there are other results that I can also show. So this result contains both pivot table and pivot charts. All right. And if you don't want to use any of these, if you don't want to use any of this pivot table, all you just need to do is to come here and ask a question. Okay, ask a question. You can say, okay, which day has the highest amount? Which day or which vendor has the highest amount? So that's what I want to type now. Which vendor has the highest amount? So once I say enter, it's going to check and tell me the vendor. It's telling me that Bill has the highest. Can you see it? Which is 1.12 million, 1,276,000. Showing me in a pivot, using a pivot, you can insert the pivot table, modify it, and do whatever you can. You can do whatever by asking questions quickly. Within a snap of finger, you don't even need to use AI for this. Analyze data is going to work just exactly like AI. All it does is to query your data, and then whatever that is within your data, you can ask questions concerning it, and it's going to give it to you automatically. Now, let's move on. That is how to use the analyze data. Like I said, first, you must convert into table. When you convert into table, second, you will now add what we call, you will now go to your data tab and then use the analyze data. And with that, you'll be able to create. And you can see that even with this, we have already created 1 or 2 reports. So what I will just do is quickly, let us see how we can manually, because this one automatically has given us pivot table. Just asking question, it can give you answer based on your data, no matter how large or big the data set is. Provided it is within Excel, you can convert it into a table and then ask questions, and on the fly it gives you the answer. Now let us go on to see how we can use this same data to create a very simple dashboard. Okay, to create a very simple dashboard. So I don't want to use the analyze data. Let us go and then say insert. I want to insert pivot table from what? From table or range. All right, and then I want it in a new table. I want it in a new worksheet, and I want to rename this worksheet dashboard. Okay, I want to rename this worksheet dashboard. All right, so this pivot table let me say I just need about 4 or just about three reports or 2 reports. Okay, I want to see my vendors. Okay, I want to see my vendors by the amount. Okay, and then I will be adding this. So let me quickly convert this to currency. Let me convert this to currency. Okay, so we can see that then I can now convert this into a pivot chart. Let me convert this into a pivot chart. So it's always advisable you use recommended. So recommended will give you something that is close. Okay, so let me use the clustered column chart. All right. So under the cluster column chart, let me quickly add the heading. I want to call this heading vendors. Okay, so I want to call these vendors. All right, and I want to quickly format this chart. Let me remove the legend. I don't want the legend. I don't want the axis as well. I don't want the axis as well. Okay, let me only use the primary the primary axis and then add the chart. Let me add the data label. Let me add it at the inside end. Now, so let me add it to the inside end, and if possibly, let me change the orientation. Let me change the orientation and then place this at the end of. I want the data label to be at the end, at the outside end, so that I can see the amount. I can convert this to, let's say, to remove, but I don't want to go through that route. Just something like this. I can even go ahead to say I want just the top 5 vendors. Okay, to get the top 5 vendors, all I just need to do is to right click and then say what? Show I will just do a drop down here and say value filters top 10. Top 10, I want just only the top 5 vendors by the sum amount. Then say okay, it will reduce the chart for me to the top 5 vendors. Can you see that? And I'm good. You see that this one is even very more presentable. Let me change the orientation to this so that it can be visible. Let me remove the grid lines. Can you see that? So our chart is ready. I can even go ahead to remove I want to remove each of these buttons. So I'll just come here and say remove the field buttons. Remove these buttons for me so that I can see it clearly. Can you see? So our chart is up and running. That is how you create a pivot chart and also a pivot what? A pivot table. You can click on the pivot table and insert. You can click on the pivot table and insert what? Insert your slicer. What does the slicer do? The slicer will help you to what? To slice through your report. Okay, the slicer will help you to slice through your report. Let us do a trend analysis. Let's do a trend analysis. So to do a trend analysis, I will just come here. All you need is the date. For trend analysis, all you need is your date and then your amount. Okay, so I will come here and say insert what? I can come back to my data to insert, or I just stay on my dashboard and then copy this what do they call it? This pivot table, and then under the pivot table, all I need to do is to remove this and then add the dates. That's all. Can you see that? With the dates for your pivot for your trend analysis, all you just need to do is to insert what? Your line chart. That's all. With your line chart, you'll be able to see the trend. Can you see that? How do I add the trend line? To add the trend line, stay on this, click on the chart element. Under the chart element, you will see the trend line. Can you see that? So can somebody tell me within the under the chart, what kind of trend do we have here? From this data, what trend do we have? Somebody should just quickly tell us what is the trend that you observe from this data. From the trend line, what is the trend? Are we is the trend going up or down? You can see obviously is the trend is low, is downward slope. Beautiful. So it means that there is a decline in our sales. Can you see that? It means that there's a decline in our sales. So with this, I can just come here and say, and then rename this as what? As trend analysis. Analysis. Can you see that? So you can do a lot of things. You can modify your chart and you are good to go. Now that we have added this to this, so to make it a dashboard, let me just copy the two charts. Okay. Open a new sheet. Good. Open a new sheet. Under the new sheet, let me paste the two charts. So for the two charts, let me arrange it in such a way that we'll be able to see everyone. And then let me also add one more report, which is like a KPI. Okay. So like I said, you don't need to stress yourself. Once you have created one pivot chart, once you have created one pivot table, just copy the pivot table and do what? And paste. That's all. You have created another pivot table. So I want the total amount. So for the total amount, what do? I will come here and then remove the vendors. And then with that, I have the total amount. Hola, the total amount is ready, which is more like my KPI. And I want this KPI to be in my dashboard. I don't want this sheet. Let me delete this sheet. It's disturbing. Let me hide this sheet. I don't want it. Any sheet that is disturbing will be hidden. So let me go now to the dashboard. So under this dashboard, I want to bring in so let me just quickly do a very simple show of good. So I want that amount for the dashboard, I want the total amount to be here. I want the total amount to be here. So let me rename this and call it total amount, total amount, which might represent our KPI. Okay. Let me reduce this size a little bit. Let me put it at the top. I think that will display it better. So let me put this total amount here and then move this here. Now I want to show you a simple trick whereby you can just place you want to place this amount. Okay, right here inside this box. How do you do that? Very simple and straightforward. This, all you just need to do is to come here. This is sheet what? This is dashboard sheet and it is in cell A13. So this is disturbing. Let me move it up. So all I just need to do is to come back here and say, click on this on the box. Come here and say equals to what? Navigate to that sheet. When you navigate to the sheet, it will give you the sheet description. Can you see it? And then all I need to do is to say A13 and enter. Can you see that? Then I cannot beautify this. The amount is there already. I can change increase the size, and I'm good. Change the position to the center. All right. Increase the size for this. Good. Okay. So let me just make this one equal. Okay, total amount. Now I want to quickly add a slicer that will slice through this entire data set. How do I create it? Very simple and straightforward. Make sure you stay on any of your reports. Just stay on any of your dashboard. Click on any of the reports. Click on it and then say insert. What do I want to insert? I want to insert slicer. Okay, so I will come here and select slicer. What slicer do I want to insert? Let me insert for vendor and then say okay. Can you see? So if I want to see what happened across board, let me place my slicer on the right here. If I want to see what happened across board for bill, so if I click on bill, can you see that everything that happened across board for bill, look at the trend for bill. You see that on the total, okay, looking at the holistic data, you can see that there is a downward trend. But for bill alone, you will see that there is an upward trend. Does that make sense? You see now that we are now beginning to uncover insight from this data that we have created. But I don't want this slicer to slice through only this. I want it to slice through this chart and also the amount, so that I'll be able to see the total amount that Bill has already that Bill or Chicken Republic is doing. So how do I get that done? Click on the slicer, or yes, when you click on the slicer, come to your slicer settings. Can you see it? You will see the consolidated tab for slicer. Select the slicer settings. Once you select the slicer settings, which is the tab, then you will see the report connection. Click on the report connection. All the pivot charts that we have created is here. So I will select pivot 6 and pivot 7. Pivot 7 represent this third, the KPI. So once that is done, I will say okay. You see that by default, the total amount for bill is 1.27 million. And if I go to Chicken Republic, okay, if I click on Chicken Republic, you see that the amount changes and the trend analysis also changed. If I go to Ikeja, it changes and the total amount also changed. With this simple trick, you can create a dashboard or every single item or KPIs within the report. You can quickly develop it and then get a lot of insight from this report. Yes, we have said a lot about how to do these things manually. How can we now use AI in order to achieve some of these things, so that you will appreciate the beauty of Copilot. Okay, you appreciate the beauty of Copilot in cleaning data, in creating reports, and in doing some other stuff. Now, some of the tricks, some of the one or two things that I will just mention. That you must be aware of if you want to prompt Copilot to do these things for you. Number one, ensure that your data, the first point of your data set, is starting at A1. Very important. If there is a movement, okay, if the position of your data is not on A1, you may not likely get the best results that you are seeking for. So all you just need to do, ensure that your result that your data is starting from cell A1. Now remember, we extracted this description, right? Okay, we extract this description. Now, anytime you are working with Copilot, it is also good for you to use the word create when you are starting. You tell it to create, you tell it to format, use some specifics. Okay, some of the things that David Brown has talked about, also put it into consideration. Okay, so make sure you are using specific words. Okay, be intentional with the words that you use. Create, format, change. Okay, those words are very key in helping you to use AI. Now, how do you do that? Let me click on Copilot. Can you see that by default I already have Copilot? So if you are using Microsoft 365, okay, by default you'll be having Copilot. So just click on your Copilot. All right, Now, when you click on your Copilot will come up. You know, Copilot has been integrated into Microsoft Excel. So it's there to help you. That is why the word that I love the word Microsoft uses for their own AI. They call it Copilot. So it is there to assist. It is an assistant. Okay. So meaning that for every assistant, you are delegating task to your assistant. That is what you are trying to do here. So from here, what do I want to do? I can just ask a simple question. Detect. So I want it to detect the data integrity issue. Detect the data integrity issues in this sheet. You know, we have other sheets. So you must be intentional with what, like I said, you must be intentional with what you are saying. If you can even write the name of the sheet, it is even good. Okay. So I want it detect the data issues in this sheet. So once I say that, once I click on next, automatically Copilot will read my data and tell me the data issues, every single data integrity issue that is having. Can you see that we have missing column headers? Okay. Can you see that? Or improper header row. So if you scroll down, it will give you an explanation. The first visible row appears to contain data immediately. Can you see? Do you know the reason why I'm saying this? Because you have not converted it into a table. Okay, if you convert it into a table, it will not be giving you this first complaint. All right. And remember, I told you that don't just pass on your data. If possibly, if you want a quick analysis, convert. First thing that comes to mind, if you must crunch your data quickly in Excel, first of all, convert it into what? Into data. All right. Convert it into a table. And how do you convert it to a table? Very simple. Stay anywhere within the data, Control A. After your Control A, then you do Control T. Then Control T will automatically give you a column header for your data. So if I scroll down, let me see. Can you see that it's giving me an example? It said there's no clearly defined header row, which is correct. Then we have value appearing to be concatenated. So what we mean concatenated, meaning that there are values that are joining. They are joining together. Okay, that is a pattern that your AI has already detected, and it's giving you immediately. It's giving you an example. It's giving you an example. Okay, so with all this, you'll be able to know where there is a problem within your data, so that you know what to attack. Now, look at the next thing I want to tell you to do. I say create for me. I want you to create a workbook. Okay, I want you to create a workbook that converts this range of cells into what? Into table. Now, watch what will happen. If I just say enter, it will quickly check my data, and once it checks the data, it will provide me another copy that would have been converted into a table. So if you don't want to do some of these things yourself, just give it to Copilot, and Copilot will look at it and then give you something. Can you see that? It has already given me. It said, I've created a new Excel workbook where this, that, and so it will give you a link where you can download. Can you see? It has given me the link. If I click on this link and I say open this file for me, this same data that I have here, you will see that it would have created a table version of it. Okay.
5 minutes.
This is
Mr.
not
Speaker.
Yes.
5 minutes, please.
Okay, 5 minutes more. So we have a lot to say, but because of time, okay, time is not always time. So now what I want to do here is, okay, because this is already a table, I think that is why it's giving me some of these errors. So let me do control. Let me convert to range first. So convert to range. Okay, so when I convert to range, Now watch what I want to do. I want it to create another column for me. Okay. All I just need to do is to say, look at convert. Okay, let me use an already made prompt that I have. I can drop it on the chat box so that you can as well try and use it as well. But you must be intentional with the wordings that you use. So let me select this, copy this prompt. Okay. Now I will read the prompt for you. Don't worry. I will read the prompt. Now look at what this prompt will do. I say create an Excel workbook using data set on this worksheet to extract vendors from description column. Okay. In a new column, create a data category column. That is another column, which makes 2. Create a worksheet for trend analysis, plotting the amount against the date using line charts. Then create a worksheet showing pivot table of category and amount. Convert all data ranges to what? To table. That's all. Once that is done, just say enter. It will, every single instruction, all these instructions are clear. Every single instruction here would be carried out. So while AI is doing the work, let me paste this on the chat so that you can as well try it using this data set. So I have pasted this. So I hope the panelists will help me to paste in the general group. So can you see that AI is reviewing this, and while it's reviewing it, every single thing that I've said here will be done. So for further questions or any other information, you can contact me. These are my contacts. This is my WhatsApp number and every other information. So let me go back and see what AI has done. Okay, still coming up. So because the instruction I've given is much, and that is why it's taking a lot of time to do it. And I can tell you, this, what I've just said here, if you have to do it by yourself, I can bet you can take as well as 2-3 hours to do it. But within a few minutes, AI is going to do that. So at this juncture, I'll be putting it, I'll be pausing here while we entertain questions, and then we see what.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osai, for that excellent practical session. Let's go to the question and answer. Let me see. We have people. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I have Mr. Fatai Raji. Mr. Raji, can you unmute and ask your question, please? Mr. Fatai. Unmute and ask your question, please. You are muted, Mr. Raji. Okay, you can go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question. Mr. Raji, are you there? Mr. Fatai, are you there? Mr. Ibrahim Hafiz, Ibrahim, unmute and ask your question, please. Mr. Ibrahim, go ahead. Mr. Ibrahim, go ahead with your question, please. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Mr. Hafiz, go ahead with your question, please. Mr. Afiz. Okay. We can't hear you. Mr. Afiz, are you there? Let me check the chat if we have some questions. Mr. Afiz, are you there? Take care. Yeah. Okay, let me ask. Okay, I'm trying to check the chat box, Mr. Osas.
Okay. I'm checking as well.
There's a question here. It says, why using AI to do analysis? How do we know if there are mistakes in the results?
Great. Now, you see, that is why I love my former boss that I work with. What he does is, whenever he asks for a report from me, what he does is just with just one simple one or two checks, you place some checks in order to know if what has been done is correct. Are we good? You place some checks. So let's say, for example, maybe you have prompt the AI to create a total for you. Okay, you know that with a single check like this below, it will give you the average, it will give you the count, it will give you the total. Can you see it? So if I create a total that is different from this, now look at this sum that is here. Only by highlighting, I have not written any formula, I have not done anything. Just by highlighting, I can confirm if a total sum amount is correct. Are you with me? Now, if I go back to my dashboard, look at the total amount that I'm having here. Look at the grand total. Let me see. Let me clear this. Now look at the grand total I have here, 9.2 million. Now, if I go to my data set itself, can you see below here? I can see 9.2 million. So it means that what the if AI is giving you anything short of this, maybe within the calculation, if the average, maybe you are asking for average, and the average is giving you is different from what is here, then you know that it's either there is an error within the or maybe there is data inconsistency. That's number one. Or the prompt that you are giving it has a little issue that you need to adjust. So with a quick check like this, you can detect if there is problem. Or that is why you are not giving everything totally to AI. Okay, you are. I don't know if that is clear.
Yeah, I think the members have gotten that answers. I have a funny question for you. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
What is your take? What is your take on AI taking over job of accountants? What is your take on this?
Never. AI cannot take the job of an accountant. What AI does is to assist an accountant to get the work done. Why will you be doing something that why will you be working all alone when you have an assistant to assist you to do that work? Something that you'll be able to that you'll be doing for 3 hours, you'll be doing for 3 days, 4 days, and there is an assistant there that will make you to deliver. That will make you more effective, and you'll be able to channel some of your strength to strategic area of the decision making in the organization. Okay, so AI is not there to take job from anybody. No, what AI does is to make you to work smarter, faster, and make you to be efficient.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let me see if we have any other. I saw one,
Now,
Dr.
if you look at
Dauda.
it, this is the result of that data, of that prompt that I give to AI. Can you see that automatically it checks and gives me, it categorizes it for me automatically. Can you see? Because it is part of the what? Part of the report, part of the prompt I gave to it. Look at the trend analysis. You see that it's not far-fetched from what I did. Okay? Look at the trend analysis it did. Then we have the pivot. Can you see the pivot? Now, how do I cross-check this to know if this is correct? All I need to do, stay here, come to your, let me enable editing. So under enable editing, so I'm vetting what AI is doing for me now. So under enable editing, I will come to table design and add a total row. Under the total row, I want to see the sum. Okay, I want to see the sum of this. So the sum of this is this amount, okay, which is fine. So let me now go to the data itself. Look at the data itself. If I just come here, select this entire data set, let me see what it has given us below. Can you see? It's giving me the same amount. So I can proudly say that the answer that AI has given me is very much correct based on the prompt that I've given it.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you so much for that beautiful London and insightful presentation. Let's give him a shout out via the chat. He has done excellently well. I want to, on this note, we have come to the end of the presentation. So let me, on behalf of, thank you, Mr. Osai. On behalf of the Institute, and the Employment Facilitation Committee, I want to sincerely thank both speakers. They have done so well. And I also want to extend my appreciation to all participants who have joined from all over the world. We want to thank you so much for making this webinar an insightful and engaging one. We look forward to see you participate in our subsequent webinar session. Thank you all and do have a lovely weekend. Thank you and God bless everybody. Technical, can we have the anthems? ICAN anthem followed by national anthem. Thank you all. Technical.
Let's go, I can found the treasure in triumph of an array, standing stronger in harmony, building a land together. Dreams of a founding fathers, we are striving to attain our counting values that we share through all ages be sustained. Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Noble ICAN, your accuracy we cherish. We uphold your integrity.
Our own native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria.
Hello? Not you.
Okay.
Technical. Thank you for me. Gibson, DDMA, everybody, thank you. Good work.